Sleep this way to cleanse your brain and protect memory against dementia. Have you ever forgotten something very important, such as an appointment, a password, or the name of that friend from college? I'm sure you've worried about the possibility of losing your memory, haven't you? And not without reason. There is an exponential increase in neurological diseases such as dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. More than 55 million people are living with dementia today, and the forecast is to reach at least 150 million in less than 30 years. To give you an idea, there is one new person diagnosed with dementia every 3 seconds. What measures can we take to protect brain health? What if I told you that something as simple as the position you sleep in could make a difference? This is the topic of today's video. The sleeping position can change your life and protect your memory against dementia and neurological issues. And I'll give you a spoiler. It's very easy to do. Let's go. Why is there a huge increase in neurological diseases recently? Some things are clear. Aging population, lifestyle changes. People have become more sedentary, are eating worse, there's chronic stress on everyone. Your boss is messaging you on WhatsApp. People can find you at any time. Life's pace has sped up, we're sleeping less and worse, and there has been a significant increase in diseases like diabetes and hypertension that damage the brain. But that's not all. Environmental toxins, like pesticides that people use a lot of neurotoxic agents to kill insects, and it ends up in the water, and so we breathe or we eat, and all this can increase Parkinson's. And also heavy metals. If you eat fish every day, you will get contaminated with mercury. There's also air pollution. Tough, right? It's amazing how resilient our bodies are. Do you know how COVID can affect your brain? What we know about the short and long-term effects on brain function is memory loss, worsened attention, language and communication problems, reduced mental processing speed, difficulty in making decisions, learning new things. Research shows that COVID prematurely ages the brain due to inflammation of the nervous system, accelerating the dementia process, triggering genes that were dormant. So, if you forgot your cell phone or bank password, take it easy. What is dementia? Dementia is a syndrome characterized by the loss of brain functions, such as memory, language, attention, and reasoning. This loss significantly interferes with the ability to perform daily activities. Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause of dementia, accounting for about 70% of cases. And yes, dementia is a global public health problem that requires immediate attention and action. It not only affects the individual, it affects the entire family and can be devastating and sad. It's a huge stress, a suffering for caregivers. The problem is that the medications we have today are palliative. They don't really stop the disease. The brain continues to worsen over time. In the United States, 2 new drugs have emerged that have created some hope, but they are very expensive, costing the price of a house per year, and with some risk of brain edema. But they manage to hold the disease. We have to wait for the drugs to become cheaper, because today they are still unaffordable. You might say, yeah, I have memory loss, and with this talk, I'm getting even more nervous. Take it easy. There are differences between normal memory loss and dementia. What are they? Memory loss. Dementia. Unveiling the differences. Forgetting where you left your keys is normal. We all experience memory lapses from time to time. But when these forgetfulness incidents become frequent and interfere with your daily life, they can be a sign of something more serious. Normal memory loss involves occasional forgetfulness of names, dates, or recent events. Difficulty in remembering where you placed objects. Memory that improves with hints or reminders. Why does this happen? The main reason is distraction. When we are distracted, our brain is not focused on storing new information. This can lead to frequent forgetfulness, but chronic stress can harm the hippocampus. If we don't pay enough attention to what we are learning, or if we don't associate it with other information already stored, the memory will be weaker and prone to being forgotten. And if you forgot the name of your college friend whom you haven't seen for 40 years, over time, memories become less accessible if not used or reinforced. It's like the road that leads to memory fades, becomes weak. Whereas dementia is a persistent and progressive memory loss. What is memory loss like in dementia? The person has difficulty learning new things. It is also associated with changes in personality, behavior, mood, and difficulty in performing tasks that were previously simple. I'll give examples. Who has never forgotten where they parked their car? That's normal memory loss. Now, forgetting how to drive is dementia. Forgetting the name of a friend you haven't seen for a while? Normal memory loss. Having difficulty recognizing familiar people? Dementia. It's important to remember that dementia is not a normal part of aging. If you are concerned about your memory or someone else's, consult a doctor for a full evaluation. This video is important for you to recognize, but it's good to see a specialist. Early diagnosis of dementia is important for the treatment and management of the disease, and there are many types of dementia, each with its own symptoms. And look, most people who have age-related memory loss do not have dementia. And there are many things you can do to keep your brain healthy and reduce the risk of dementia. What can we do to reduce the risk of dementia? What are they? I'll ask you 8 questions. Grab a pen and paper. Answer yes or no. First question. 1. Do you eat healthily with lots of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains? Yes or no? 2. Do you exercise regularly, at least 30 minutes per day? Yes or no? Sedentariness increases the risk of dementia. 3. Do you get quality sleep, sleeping at least 7 hours per night? Yes or no? Both sleeping too little or too much has a higher chance of dementia. 4. Do you keep your mind active, reading, doing crossword puzzles, or learning something new, even if it's on YouTube? Yes or no? 5. Do you manage stress with techniques like meditation or yoga, or even keeping a journal? Yes or no? 6. Do you have an active social life with friends and family? Yes or no? Social isolation increases the risk of heart attack, stroke, and dementia. 7. Do you have regular medical checkups and manage diseases like diabetes, hypertension, arrhythmia, and cholesterol? Yes or no? Yeah, it's very important. All of them damage your brain. 8. Do you avoid smoking and excessive alcohol consumption? Yes or no? The more yes answers you gave, the better. The highest score is 8. If you scored 8, congratulations, top marks. But if you scored 5 or less, you have to change your lifestyle, and quickly, even if you're young. It's by planting the right seeds that you'll harvest a healthy brain in the future. How can the position you sleep in interfere with your brain's health? First, I have to explain the relationship between sleep and your brain function. Why is sleep important for the brain? As you know, all animals sleep, thus preventing swelling, defending against infections, filtering impurities, cleaning dead cells, bacteria, and viruses. It's our garbage collector. But it seemed that the brain did not have this lymphatic system. Wrong assumption. When we sleep, we activate this system of cleaning impurities in the brain. It was no use opening the cadaver. It was no use looking under the microscope. Nobody ever found it. And it took so long to be located for that reason. Because it only works when we are sleeping. That masked the existence of the glymphatic system. In the rest of the body, it's the lymphatic system. In the brain, it's glymphatic. With advances in brain imaging technology, using functional magnetic resonance, researchers were able to see how the brain functioned while sleeping. And that's when the glymphatic system was discovered. Imagine tunnels filled with fluid around the brain's blood vessels. Each heartbeat pushes the fluid through these tunnels, cleaning the brain's trash. So, sleep is much more than just rest. It activates this glymphatic system, which will clean our brain. That's why it's important to sleep well. When we are awake, these tunnels are deactivated. More than 95% of the glymphatic flow is done when we sleep. And without cleaning, it can interfere with neuron communication and accumulation of beta amyloid and tau proteins, which are trademarks of Alzheimer's. And as I said, 70% of dementias are Alzheimer's. And see how everything matches. People who sleep less than 7 hours per night have a higher risk of developing diseases like Alzheimer's. This may be because the glymphatic system doesn't have enough time to clear the brain trash, accumulating beta amyloid and tau proteins. And going further, with aging, we sleep less and our arteries harden, reducing the pulsation that drives the glymphatic system. This may explain the link between hypertension and dementia. How to keep the glymphatic system working well. Sleep well. Try to sleep at least 7 hours per night. Keep blood pressure under control. Exercise. Physical exercise can improve blood flow and the function of the glymphatic system. Studies in mice have shown that physical exercise increases glymphatic clearance, reducing the accumulation of harmful proteins to neurons. And sleeping the right way. What's the right way to sleep? Is it on your stomach? Is it on your back? Is it on your side? And which side? What's the best position to sleep to have more glymphatic flow in the brain? The best position is to sleep on your side, and even better is on the right side. I'll explain. The sleeping position influences the glymphatic flow. Mice sleep on their side, which facilitates the drainage of blood from the brain. Human research found that sleeping on the right side seems to be more efficient for this drainage because the right jugular vein, responsible for draining blood from the head, is more open in this position. And as I said that everything is interconnected, people with neurodegenerative diseases, such as Alzheimer's, tend to sleep more on their backs, which may hinder glymphatic drainage. And people without problems also tend to spend most of the time sleeping on their sides, especially on the right side, compared with on their backs or stomachs. Researchers discovered that about 72% of these people with dementia spent at least 2 hours per night on their backs, compared with 37% of those with healthier brains, raising the possibility that sleeping on the side may influence the elimination of toxic proteins for neurons. If you sleep more on your stomach or back, it would be interesting to train to sleep on your side. But how do we train to sleep on the side? One thing you could do would be the tennis ball technique, where you could wear a shirt with an inside-out pocket with a tennis ball in the pocket to prevent you from rolling onto your back. Of course, this research is still in its infancy, and a definitive causal relationship has not been established between the way of sleeping and dementia or preventing dementia, or if sleeping on the side can prevent dementia. There's still a lot to research about the glymphatic system and the relationship between sleep and neurodegenerative diseases. As I said, it was in 2012 that they discovered the glymphatic system. But since we have few real things we can do against dementia and neurodegenerative diseases in general, also, for example, the glymphatic system can clean alpha-synuclein, which is related to Parkinson's disease. Anything is valid, especially if it's harmless, it won't harm you, and at no cost, and that you can do today. Remember, sleep is an investment in your brain health. Prioritize your sleep and keep your brain working at full capacity. And you? Do you usually sleep on your side? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I wish you great health, wealth, and happiness. See you in the next video.